Hey everybody, it is SirWillow. Of course, D23 was last weekend. All sorts of news and information came out from it, and we're going to take a look at all of that as much as we can. Let you see what was announced, let you see what was not announced, maybe, and give you a good review and my thoughts on everything. So, tell you what, let's go for it and have some fun. So, of course, D23 has now kind of become Disney's version of Comic Con, where they make all of their big announcements and talk about everything that is coming up and all that's happening. And there was a lot at this year's D23. At least there was a lot talked about. There were a lot of hints dropped, a lot of little details given. If it's something that you follow the theme park field at all, there wasn't anything mind blowing or shocking or surprising at this one. I honestly, I don't think there was anything they said at D23 that I went, whoa, I didn't see that coming. So I can't say I was terribly surprised by anything. And a couple people asked, wasn't I excited? And I was kind of like, well, eh. Not that I was disappointed, but it wasn't anything that I wasn't already familiar with, so I wasn't real excited and mind blown by it either. But that's me. I'm just kind of weird that way. So, but I do want to kind of give a rundown on a lot of the stuff that they talked about. If you didn't catch everything, to try to give you some idea of all that was coming up. They've given some great hints about everything that's coming up with Epcot, some hints about Disneyland and other things. So, like to run through that. Good to see everybody signing on. I will kind of save the questions for the very end of the video and see if we can catch some of that then. But I don't know about you, but hey, let's jump in. Woo, hey, let's see if we can get my pictures back where they belong. Hang on just a second here. Yes, I've got pictures all lined up for all of this stuff. Of course, D23, they made big announcements about everything that was going on. Really kind of neat to see all that was coming up and all the people that showed up. And we're just going to have to go with this thing backwards here. Don't you love when technology doesn't do what you want it to? All right. So they had a lot of people show up. A big celebration. One of the very first things that came up, of course, at D23 was talking about the brand new Disney Cruise Line boat, the Disney Wish. This one's going to be themed to Rapunzel. So it gave you a little bit of preview. They're excited about that. This cruise line keeps expanding because it is so popular, and it's been really kind of neat to see that. One of these days I'm going to get a cruise. So I'm excited because in the back of my mind I'm kind of going, hey, the more boats they get, maybe eventually the cheaper the cruises will get. Yeah, okay, I know, not really, but a guy can dream, can't he? But that was one of the very first ones. They also talked about the brand new Disney Genie app, and now I have to admit this one I'm skeptical on. They're apparently taking the Disney Parks, I believe it's the Parks app, and they're completely redoing it, giving it a whole new lift and look, and calling it the Disney Genie. This is going to be something that you can actually look at and tell it what you want to do, tell it where you want to go, tell it how you want to get there, and it's actually going to go through and essentially plan your day for you, which can be really cool, or it may not be. My worry about that is the Disney Parks app and My Disney Experience is notoriously buggy. It crashes, it doesn't work. They hate my phone. Anytime I get in Florida, it just freezes up and I can't load anything. So I can't book fast passes on my phone and stuff. I gotta have other people do it. I'm fingers crossed hoping it doesn't do that to me when we're at Disneyland. Hopefully with this revamp, they will get all the bugs worked out and will actually work on Android phones. I hope. We'll see. That's my only big skepticism. But for a family that doesn't know Disney, that doesn't know how to plan, doesn't know how to do fast passes, this should be an awesome new feature. It can be really nice, but if you know Disney at all, it's probably going to be kind of a, well, look, it's doing what I could have done on my own. We'll see. So I'm kind of jury's out on this one, and we'll see how it all comes out. I hope it's an improvement. I hope it's better. I hope it is nowhere near as buggy. Hope. They also announced over at... Get myself turned around. At Disneyland, they have the brand new Marvels area coming out. They've been talking about this for a little while. The Guardians of the Galaxy rethemed Tower of Terror was the brand new, kind of the start of it. Well, now you're going to have this whole land. They've taken all the old Bugs Land area, and it's now gone. And this is going to be coming up soon, where you're actually going to be able to come up and go to Avengers headquarters and be part of the Avengers. This is actually second phase, where you're going to be able to go to Wakanda as part of that, a big e-ticket ride, which should be really, really cool. So looking forward to that. They also are going to have a brand new Spider-Man ride, where you get the experience of shooting webs. I almost get the impression it's going to be kind of a mixture of Spider-Man at Universal and Toy Story Mania, where you'll be shooting things. It should be interesting to see how it works out. The picture you actually see there is actually the ride vehicles are going to look almost exactly like that. And then you're helping Spider-Man gather the spider bots that have gone crazy. Poor Spider-Man can't control his own spider bots. I don't understand that. But so it looks like that'll be fun. That's coming up in the next few years. And so when I get to Disneyland here in a month, I get to look at construction walls. Yay! Oh, okay. But it will be neat to see Marvel finally start getting its full presence in California like it should, since Disney can't do much with it in Florida. So they also have the Mickey and Minnie's Racers. The new Mickey and Minnie ride that's going in Toontown. It's actually got another version that's supposed to be opening at Hollywood Studios. In fact, it was supposed to be open already, but they didn't quite make it for some reason. But Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway will help fill in Toontown at Disneyland as well. It would be nice if they actually gave Toontown a refresh. At least I hear it needs one. I haven't seen it in years, so I'm going to totally see what happens when we get there. But it will be fun to see it get a little more life in addition to Robert Your Rabbit. I think it'll be a great fit there. I still hate the fact that they removed the Great Movie Ride to put this in. I understand the ride. I missed the Great Movie Ride. But Disneyland is going to be a great addition. Again, nothing new. They had a couple more pictures and images from it, but nothing dramatic revealing with that. But they did reveal a brand new parade at Disneyland. This actually sounds like it would be really cool. Again, we'll miss this. In fact, I think we're going to miss all the parades on our Disneyland trip. Would you believe Main Street Electric Light Parade closes the day before we get there? In any case, I love parades. Magic Happens looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. You can see the new Sorcerer Mickey outfit, which really looks kind of cool. I'm kind of checking my chat here, too. Hey, Robert, good to see you. And Craig, ooh, maybe one become Instagram worthy. That could be. But I love the Sorcerer Mickey outfit. He's going to kick off the parade, and then they're going to have a whole bunch of new float designs. So you can see the Coco float here, and yes, don't shoot me, I still haven't seen Coco, but at some point we might. But it's a really neat two-car float there. You have the Princess float. This is actually Sleeping Beauty, and I love how you can see the fairies that are right there. That's a cool-looking float to me. And then it will be nice to finally see them bring in Moana into a float, a real float just for Moana. Moana gets no love. I don't understand why Moana doesn't get the attention in the parks. But very neat looking parade. That's supposed to be kicking off here in 2020, I believe, is the timeline for that. And then there is Epcot. So much going on with Epcot. And if you actually look in this picture, you'll notice it's a little hard to see here. Let me blow this up just so you can see this. But Epcot changes big time. That whole area off to the right side of Spaceship Earth, Innoventions is gone. There's gardens that have taken its place. I'm excited, but at the same time, I think it's kind of lopsided looking. So we're going to kind of see how this turns out. I have a healthy dose of skepticism and excitement about this. So we're going to kind of see, in my mind, how this works. This could be fantastic for Epcot. Epcot definitely needs some new life. It needs some help in that regard, but at the same time, I don't want to lose what it's been and the focus of the theme. And that's why I'm a bit nervous. To take out what was a major attraction center with Innoventions, and it's gone. Innoventions has been closed for years, but I'm still not sure if this is the way I would like to see it go. But at the same time, I don't want it to stay the way it was. Does that make sense? I hope so. They're going to split it up into 4 areas. You will still have World Showcase. You will then have World of Discovery on one side, World of Nature on the other. World of Nature will have the Imagination, Living Seas, and Earth. Discovery will have Mission Space, Test Track, the new Play Pavilion, and then also the Guardians of the Galaxy, which I'll talk about that in a second here. They're going to be redoing Spaceship Earth. It's getting a update, a re-theme inside. The ride's going to be redone. They're changing the whole entrance plaza. You can see kind of actually the return of the old fountain. The monoliths are all going. In fact, they're almost all gone already. So I am excited about that. Spaceship Earth, I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's due for a redo. So it will be nice to see that. And then they're adding in this new pavilion. This is actually going to sit about where the second part of Innoventions was. If you know where Character Spot is, and you go down to the other end of that where it was empty, this new pavilion is going to be sitting about right there. And it's going to have an upper level place that's going to be kind of gardened. You can watch the fireworks out on the lake from that. Don't be surprised if they actually charge you to watch from up there. It becomes part of the dining packages or something like that. It's supposed to be a great viewing, and I'll actually give them a pavilion just for the festivals, which is long overdue, and probably as well to host private parties and stuff like that. And I'm actually going to come back and touch that later, but keep in mind, this gives them a place to host private parties and large groups and stuff that want to pay to have their own place. This is going to provide that while also giving a really nice visual. So that I think this is going to be a great addition. You also have part of the gardens there with a brand new statue of Walt. I love this idea because I love the idea of just giving a tribute to Walt there. And it's a neat new idea. It's not partners, it's something new. So I do like that. Of course, Guardians of the Galaxy is on the other side. They've taken the Energy Pavilion and rethemed it. I'm excited about this ride. I think it's going to be an awesome ride. It's going to be incredible. I'm still struggling with how it fits into Epcot. And I've said that multiple times. But at the same time, what little bit of hints they've given on this are going to be incredible. It's going to have a backwards launch. Not super fast. It's still family friendly. But it will have a backwards launch. And the car vehicles are going to rotate so you can see the story. That will be really, really cool. And they have actually showed off pictures of the vehicles so you can find those. This is going to be an awesome, incredible ride. It really will. And then there's the Moana Water Gardens. And this, okay, forgive me, I'm really, really skeptical on this. They've got waterfalls, they've got plants, they've got jumping fountains, and they have Moana's name on it. And it's just a walkthrough. And that's about it. I'm kind of like, okay, they're killing a whole Innoventions building instead of redoing it for a garden. And I love gardens, I love extras, I love walkthroughs, but this is not a draw to me. They haven't even said if Moana's going to be out there. Now, if they have Moana meeting people, that suddenly makes this a different thing. But nowhere has Disney indicated that Moana herself will be out here to meet people. In which case, it's kind of like, why? How does it fit into Epcot? I would have liked her in Adventureland at Magic Kingdom. You could have made it work over at Animal Kingdom. It just doesn't seem to quite be the fit there. So I'm kind of disappointed and out. And maybe they'll plus it. I'm hoping they don't decide later on to cheap out and cut budget on this. This is one thing where I'm kind of going, yeah. So, and hopefully I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong on that one. Then there's the new Play Pavilion. In my mind, this is going to become the new Innoventions. They're going to have all sorts of interactive games and other activities and stuff. And I think that is really going to be what we thought of as Innoventions. I think the Play Pavilion is going to kind of take that and modernize it. And that's good to see that idea there. And it'll be nice to see the old Wonders of Life Pavilion have something in it instead of being empty. So this, for me, is a good thing. At least some of that's being preserved, even if it's in a different way in a different place. So that's cool. Here's something that's really cool is the Space Restaurant right next door to Mission Space. I think this is an awesome idea. I really do. It's overdue, and the atmosphere is going to be cool. You're going to basically go in, and it's going to feel like you're hopping on a space elevator up to this place, so it'll be a slow-moving elevator that'll feel fast, and take you up to your restaurant in outer space. How cool! That will be absolutely awesome. So, let's see, Craig, maybe they mothballed Polly's Fountain and they're bringing it back to life in Epcot. That's very possible. If you don't know what Craig's talking about, the Polynesian Resort used to have this incredible fountain in the lobby, and they really reduced it a few years back. But the Space Restaurant, I think, is going to be a great addition. And I think it'll help add some life to Mission Space, which Mission Space is one of those weird spots that's kind of quiet at Epcot, so I think it will help that out a lot. Oh, and then, of course, the brand new fireworks show that is going to be there. Yes, they are completely redoing this. They've got a temporary show that's going to be there for about a year, and then you get Harmonious. They haven't given away a whole lot of details about this yet. I would not be surprised to see drones lighting up at night being a part of it. I think it's going to be really cool that way. I love the old fireworks, but it was time to go. It really was. So it's due for an update. So this, I think, is going to be a great change there, and especially with the new viewing area up on top of the brand new pavilion. Hey! So be keeping that. So that'll be great. And then there's also a slew of new movies. Canada's updating their movie, which will be a lot of fun. Again, overdue. I love Martin Short there, but yeah, this was due. China is getting a new 360 movie. And then Beauty and the Beast is going to show up at France as well. The neat thing with the Canada and the China movies, they're all brand new. They're all 360 degrees. The China movie is actually going to be seamless. So instead of seeing each individual screen, it's going to look like one long continuous screen, which will be really cool. The Beauty and the Beast sing-along, I think, is great. I'm happy they're keeping the Impressions de France movie there, and then they're going to alternate. I'm one of those, I don't mind the characters and stuff around Epcot. I think they fit. I think it'll be a lot of fun for that, and it fits very well. Oh, and of course, don't forget that Ratatouille is going to be opening up here next year as well, so that will also be very cool. Trust me, I've been on the Paris version. Ratatouille is awesome, and that's a fantastic addition there. And then, of course, over in England, we've got the new Mary Poppins coming up. And all they said was there's going to be a new street here, and you can get to explore the mansion and a new attraction, and that's about all they have said. They haven't said where this is going other than it's a new street. So I don't know if this is going to go where the little gazebo pavilion is back there, or if we go back to that new pavilion where they can have their private parties. If you go to the telephone booths at the UK pavilion, right behind that there's this huge double door, and that leads into a big private pavilion. That's currently where they host the private parties at Epcot. My thought is maybe, and I don't know this, I'm just guessing, they may move that pavilion over to the brand new pavilion for the parties, tear down the old thing because it's really a big giant tent, and then possibly do the Mary Poppins street there. Or it could be over where the gazebo is. I don't know which side yet, but they've said it's an all new street, so it'll be one of those two things. So that will be very interesting. Most of the speculation I've seen on the internet is that the Mary Poppins ride is going to be a merry-go-round, themed kind of to the original movie. Nobody's been able to actually confirm one way or the other. D23 said nothing about what kind of ride it was, other than there will be a ride. So we really don't know. It's just a hint. Oh, look, there will be a new street and a ride. What is it? I don't know. Tell me. But that's what we can look forward to there. So a lot of changes coming to Epcot. Epcot's going to feel like a very different park when it's all done. And so a lot of great stuff. Nothing new, although the Mary Poppins, them acknowledging that's happening is kind of a new thing. But again, it's just a hint. It's not really meaty. What's happening? So they've taken a lot of these things that have been hints or even that they've announced before and given more details on it. So that's all really neat to see. Then, of course, Hong Kong Disneyland. They're getting a couple things, and they need this. Poor Hong Kong Disneyland, I'm sorry, I think they got shafted when they built the castle there, because they gave them exactly the same as Disneyland California's castle. So they're going to redo their castle and give them a real castle of their own, unique to them, inspired by 13 of the different Disney fairy tales. So good for Disney to give them a real castle. I really appreciate that. I think that's awesome. So that's nice. Plus, they also get a brand new Frozen ride, a roller coaster themed just to Frozen. Okay, this is new to me, and this is cool, and I am really excited for them for that, because that looks like neat. It's going to be pulling the sled up the hill and letting it go, and let it go. Anyways, sorry. But I do think that's an awesome thing for Hong Kong Disneyland. And then Shanghai Disneyland, get the right way, is also getting a brand new Zootopia area as well. So they're also getting a big addition. This is another one that has been acknowledged in the past, and they gave a couple more details, and I'll probably never get Shanghai Disneyland, so I'll look at it from a distance and go, oh, that would be so neat. But that's pretty much what they've announced for rides and attractions. And then there's this thing. This is actually the brand new Star Wars hotel that is going to be at Walt Disney World. And this is looking like it is going to be absolutely amazing. Um, I'll be honest, I'm looking at this, I'm going, oh, I really want to do this because you check in, it's going to be checking in like on a cruise line. And so everybody will check in for a 2-day experience on the Galactic Star Cruiser Halcyon. And you're going to live Star Wars. It's right over next to Hollywood Studios, so part of it will be a quick excursion out into the new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. But most of it's going to be self-contained, and you are going to feel like you're living Star Wars. You're actually going to be able to do all of this stuff in there that many of us Star Wars nerds have dreamed about. You're going to act a role in the Star Wars saga, meet characters, meet other troopers. You may even be able to practice with a lightsaber and a real dueling thing. The big deal is it's expensive. To get a room that sleeps 5 people is going to be over $7,000 for 2 nights. Yeah, think about that. $7,000 for 2 nights. I believe if you have 2 people in the room, the numbers I was seeing was somewhere around $3,500 to $4,000 for 2 nights. He's still my heart. It includes everything. It includes all of your meals. It includes the whole experience and all. But oh my goodness, what a price tag. Now, Disney has not confirmed that one way or the other. That is the numbers kind of coming out behind the scenes, but that's a lot of money. So we will see if that is actually what happens or not. But it would be really cool if they can get that price down. Hey, somebody want to treat me? Oh, and then there's also the new Target area. And this is kind of weird in that I'm excited for this. This was a brand new thing for me. There's 30 Target stores all around the country. They're going to open up essentially a mini Disney store in the Target. So if you're not near a Disney store and you're not near the parks, this will be an opportunity to go shopping for that. So that's kind of cool. But what I'm actually excited about is actually something that has a lot of the Disney nerds upset. They're going to actually open up a Target on Walt Disney World property. They haven't said what size. I don't expect it to be a super Target. I expect it to be a smaller one. But it will finally put a store on Disney property that hopefully the Disney guests can get to, or it will deliver to them, one way or the other, at no fee, where if you need something and it's not sold in the Disney gift shops at a huge markup, you can get to it and not be stuck on property. Currently, if you're a Disney resort guest and you don't have a rental car, and you need to go buy, say, diapers that they don't carry, or electronics, say your charger cable went out, or your phone was done, or various things like that, if you're on Disney property, you're stuck. You're really kind of in a tussle. You're going to have to pay a taxi or Uber or something like that to be able to get off property. Well, if they put this store there on property, now the Disney resort guests have an option if they need to go get something or pick up something and it's there. And I would be surprised if they don't work out something with delivery as well. And the best part for Disney, guests who were leaving property before and spending money that Disney didn't get, Disney's now going to get a cut of that because I'm sure the store's going to charge more than a regular Target will. But I see this as a good thing. And the people going, oh, they're putting a store on Disney and I don't want to walk aisles and I don't want to have to see it. I want to escape that. Don't go. This is not a hard thing. Just ignore it. This is where I'm laughing at some of the Disney nerds. They're just freaking out because, oh no, they're going to put a Target in Tomorrowland. Come on, really? Stop being so busy memeing and complaining and get real and realize that you're not the only one. This is a good thing for many people. It really is. So that is pretty much all of the park stuff. That's a lot of stuff in the parks that they announced and talked about. A lot of it I am excited about. A lot of it's not new, but they've given new information, new hints, and new ideas. The other thing that they talked a bunch about was the new Disney Plus service. Now, I'm sorry, I don't have any pictures or anything for this one, so bear with me, but they announced a lot of the shows coming up. So Lizzie McGuire is coming up with a brand new show. If you like Lizzie, 13-year-old animated Lizzie will still be part of it, even though Lizzie's now grown up. Phineas and Ferb have a movie coming out. Those of us who like Phineas and Ferb, this will be cool. High School Musical, the series. It's kind of like, what? It's actually it's a behind the scenes of some high school kids putting on an updated version of High School Musical. So if you liked High School Musical, you like it. If you didn't and thought it was cheesy, you probably won't. But, hey, that's how that works. Monsters at Work has a new series based on Monsters, Inc. right after the Monsters, Inc. movie. Marvel has a series coming out called What If?, which gives you ideas of what if things in the storyline change, which will be really kind of cool. Also, exclusively on Disney+, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision with Wanda and Vision coming out. Ms. Marvel, Moon Knight, and She-Hulk are all coming out, so a lot of Marvel series are coming. Jeff Goldblum and Kristen Bell are going to have their own reality series. A live-action Lady and the Tramp. Yeah, okay, I'm not as excited about this. I shouldn't call it live-action. It's computer-animated dogs that's meant to look real, and I've already done my spiel about live-action remakes. This one I don't see being real popular, but hey, they're trying. Several new Disney movies, Stargirl, Timmy Failure, Noelle, so lots of things like that. The Muppets are coming back in a way that might actually work. It's an unscripted deal called Muppets Now, where they're going to have stars and entertainers on, and it's going to be totally ad-lib impromptu, and this could actually be really cool instead of the last terrible version that forgot the Muppets are supposed to be innocent. So I'm kind of hoping that this works. So I'm excited about that because I love Muppets. When they remember who the Muppets are and how they work, they're awesome. And when they screw them up and try to make them messed up like people, let's see. And then, of course, Star Wars has a bunch on it. The Clone Wars cartoon is coming out in 2020. Cassian Andor is starting to shoot in 2020, so it'll be 2021 on Disney+. The Mandalorian TV show. And then, of course, the big one that surprised many people is Obi-Wan is confirmed with Ewan McGregor bringing back the role. So that will actually be really cool as well. You can live stream up to 4 streams off Disney+. And if you were at D23 or you're a D23 member, you get a special discount offer good through this Sunday where you can pay for 3 years of Disney+ for $140. So we're still trying to figure out if we can afford it. We're kind of going, wrong time of year. My wife's a teacher. We have no money, but it's cheap. So we'll see if that works out. So that's kind of a rundown of almost everything from Disney D23, and oh my goodness, it's a lot of stuff. A lot I'm excited about. Some, we'll see how it works out. So I got a little time. Let me catch a couple questions here. We can do about 5 to 10 minutes, and trying to see. Let's see. Joseph talking about the Space Hotel. The price range for 7-night Mediterranean cruise for 2 nights at a hotel. Whoo! That's pretty comparison. Let's see. Obi-Wan series. Yeah, Obi-Wan. I am excited about the Obi-Wan series. That's going to be really cool. The Disney Plus, actually, we already know we're going to subscribe, even if I don't do the special this weekend, which I hope I can find a way to do it. Disneyland coming up is sucking our fun. So every penny I have right now is held off, locked up for Disneyland, so we don't starve at Disneyland. And now I'm going, I need $140. But we're really looking at Disney Plus, and we're excited about it. If we don't get it this weekend, then come November when they release it, we're going to be one of the very first ones to sign on. There's just so much on it that I want to watch. All the classic Disney movies will be there, and a lot of other stuff. It's honestly, for me and what I watch, it's going to be probably the best pay stream service outside of Amazon Prime, where I watch my Doctor Who and Star Trek and various other things like that. So very excited about Disney Plus. Very excited. What do I think of the direction for Epcot? I have mixed feelings. Epcot definitely desperately needs an overhaul. It needs a redo. I like that they're doing that. I am afraid, though, that the people that are doing this are completely forgetting the vision for what Epcot Park was. That's a perennial world fair. And so you're getting some things put in that aren't fitting that feel, like Guardians of the Galaxy. And so I'm kind of waiting to see. The one problem Disney has had the last few years, and this is true at Disney's California Adventure, it's true at Disney's Hollywood Studios, and now it's happening at Epcot. They are forgetting the park focus, the focus and general theme of the overall parks, and they're just kind of throwing stuff in. Hollywood Studios used to be about making movies and the magic of Hollywood, and now you have a Toy Story Land and a Star Wars Land where you're supposed to feel like you're walking into them, but you're not making them. And it, Hollywood Studios doesn't even know what it is. California Adventure doesn't really know what it is. And now you're going to have a Marvel Land, which is cool. I love that idea. And you've got the Pixar Pier, which I thought worked just fine as the beach, because that's a California thing, and I don't know how that quite goes. And they're just kind of, the people that are in charge of planning out the visions and focus of parks in the future don't seem to have an idea of how to keep an idea of what that park's future and vision and atmosphere is supposed to be like. So that's my biggest concern there. I am not sure how the center hub of Epcot's going to work. You're going to have wandering gardens, and I've seen people already get lost at Epcot when it's a straight walk out to World Showcase, and now they're going to have all these side paths to get lost in. You're going to have a lot of lost, clueless guests. You're just going, where am I? I don't know how to get out of here. So I like the idea of interventions. I like that at least they'll have the play pavilion that will kind of take that over. I would have liked to have seen them actually redo the buildings, though, as opposed to tear the whole one out. So that's kind of where I am with Epcot. A lot of it's going to be wait and see. This could turn out really good. It could turn out, yeah. So, do I think the new private party stage will be, or area will be used for a Make-A-Wish Kids meet and greet? I honestly don't know. The Make-A-Wish Kids don't have a special area for their own meet and greets, and really they don't need one. They just go to the regular characters, and Disney has a standard policy that if they were with Make-A-Wish or a similar organization, that they get to skip the whole entire line and just go right on in and meet the characters. That's a normal deal, and I think if you tried to set up a special area just for Make-A-Wish, you're going to end up, thinking Disney dollars, you'll end up with a lot of downtime for those characters for not doing anything, and Disney's going to be thinking, I'm paying them to do nothing. I see it more, there's supposed to be a restaurant, there's an observation area, there's supposed to be a festival area in it where they will have specific things for like the food and wine festival and the art festival where they'll have activities specifically for that there. And it's going to have an area where you can have private parties. I see that being really rented out more than anything else. That's kind of what I'm seeing there. Let's see. Do you know if the special price applies if you have the free D23 membership? Yes, Tammy, you should get an email. Check your spam box. Anybody who's a member of D23 should be getting that offer. I know us golds definitely got it, but I believe it's for anybody in D23. So check your emails. If you don't see that email already, check your spam mail and see if it got caught there. But that price should be available. So, did I get an invite email? Yes, I did. I've got mine. So, let's see here. Thoughts, Kyle? On my next live stream, ask me about the Spider-Man MCU stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, flyby start answer. I don't think changing the focus of the park is such a big deal as long as they come up with an altered focus. But they don't seem to be having a new focus. And that's kind of my issue. Is I don't mind a change in theme for the park, a change in idea, a change in focus. For example, Disney's California Adventure, I understood what they were trying to do at the beginning, but it needed help. And a change in park focus there was a good thing, except they didn't fully do it because they didn't know what they were replacing it with. You need to have a definite idea, and I don't think they do. They're just tossing stuff in right now, and that's kind of my frustration there. So, where are the rides, which is what the workers will hear? I'm not quite sure what you're asking there, Mr. Higginbottom. So, Kathy Goodman, the original Imagineers are all gone, and these young people never grew up watching Walt on TV like we did. And I think that has some merit, although you still have a lot of people in Imagineering that worked with Walt or worked with people who knew Walt. So that's still there. I think the bigger issue is you have some people that are in charge of the company and the parks right now. And I'll throw out Bob Iger, who is really making money. Bob does some great things, and there's some things I don't like. You've also got Bob Chapek, who's in charge of parks right now, and who, forgive me, doesn't know diddly about parks. And the managers that he's brought in under him, I don't think really know much about theme parks. And they are turning a lot of things into nickel and dime things, and that's kind of what's bothered me there. I think that you need to have somebody in charge of the parks division who has worked in the parks, who feels parks and understands Walt's ideas in parks, that it's about guest services and presenting the guest the best experience. I don't think that is in the upper top tier management of the parks right now. And I think that's the biggest issue there. And it's affecting things like the park vision and stuff too, because it's people that they've appointed. It's not the Imagineers making these decisions, it is the people that are above them. And that's where I think the issues are. It's time for some new blood there. We go. It seems like we go in waves. You know, you had Walt where everything was fantastic, and then you had the time before Michael Eisner where it was really struggling. They almost got bought out, and then when Eisner came in, there was a big value for the parks again. And then when Frank Wells was lost, it kind of dropped down, and it's come up a little bit in some ways. I mean, the new Star Wars Galaxy's Edge area is great. At least I'm assuming it is. If you haven't heard, by the way, max turnout today at Hollywood Studios at 4 in the morning for the opening. So I think they need to get some people that have that original vision in there. So I would agree with you on that. Let's see here. Yeah, BC did not seem very inspirational. Galaxy's Edge. I still don't know why this guy's there. Don't know. Do I think they will hire proper Londoners for the Mary Poppins voice actors? Well, Gordon, if you've ever been to the UK Pavilion, everybody that works at the UK Pavilion is from England. So they all have the accent because that's how they normally talk. And generally, if they have rides in the country pavilions, they're also operated by the people from that country. So I don't think that's going to be a problem over there. Do I think this D23 is better than last year's? Well, they only do D23 every 2 years. So, and I have not actually been to one. I just pick up what I glean off the internet. I don't think they had any. I think 2 years ago they had much bigger announcements because a lot of this is kind of following up on some of that. But I don't know. I've heard a lot of mixed things. It was bigger this year. I heard that the crowd control wasn't as good as in the past, but I know a lot of people also had a great time with it. So that'd be a better question for people who actually got to attend. Me, I'm stuck in Missouri. So, any other big changes coming to Disney World? Check the whole first half of this video there, Mr. Higginbottom. So, last question here. How would I respond to annoying statements like Disney is for kids and you need to grow up? Walt Disney World and Disneyland are for kids. They are for kids of all ages. And everybody should have a childlike heart. And I'm going to preach a scripture at you. Jesus said to let the children come to him, that you need to be like a child for the kingdom of God. So I can't think of a higher authority than, that sometimes it's good to be a kid. There's nothing wrong with playing at Disneyland. I don't need kids to go to Disney. If you saw my vlog from Magic Kingdom that was posted up a week ago, where I was at Magic Kingdom all by myself, I had a blast. I feel sad for those that think you need to grow up and not do Disney. That they're the ones that honestly are losing. I love Disney. I love parks. I love being able to act like a kid in a mature way, not act like an idiot and rude and a jerk. Not that kind of thing. But to be able to enjoy things with a childlike sense of wonderment and abandon and excitement, I think we all need that. And I kind of grieve for those who don't have it. So there's my last little spiel on that. Hope you enjoyed this look at D23 and my opinions and thoughts about everything that came out. I'd love to hear your opinions too. Please don't forget to leave them below in the comments. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, how you're feeling about what's coming and what's not coming. Love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much to my patrons for supporting me. If you want to know more about Patreon and supporting, check the link below or at the end. My fans are wonderful. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome and blessed day. If you'd like to know about my merchandise, fan pages, and more, be sure to check the description below. If you'd like to know whenever I've got a new video posted, well, make sure you hit that button right up there and subscribe. If you'd like to watch another one of my videos, I've got a great one for you right here. And if you'd like to be like these wonderful people here and support me financially on Patreon, well, make sure you check the link right there. There's even some extra perks for them. Thank you so much and God bless.